What is up, my fellow Toku nerds and fellow Skylander nerds? It's at the end of the month, which means it's time to do another Kamen Rider in Skylands. Now we covered Kuga through Blade. Now it's time to do Hibiki. Now, okay, just to get this out of the way, I'm terrible at pronunciation. When yesterday I was gonna record it, but then I got mixed up on the names. So now I have a notebook of the riders that are listed in the video I watched, and then I'm doing my best on pronouncing them. So if I get something wrong about anything, please let me know, because I'm not the expert in this. But I'm gonna try my best on pronunciation. Please don't hate me on this. So without further ado, let's get right to it with Kamen Rider Hibiki himself. Now, what I have in notes is purple flames and drumsticks. Now, that instantly tells me, for main form Hibiki, this one is going to be a combination of fire and magic. In this case, magic and fire swap. I'll explain that in just a minute. And then the weapon, since it's drumsticks, is going to be a swashbuckler. Dual wielding makes sense. So, main form Hibiki, magic fire swap, swashbuckler. Now for Hibiki Kurenai, keeps the same battle class, so swashbuckler. But I'm going to flip the fire magic. So Kurenai is going to be fire magic swashbuckler. Why do I say that? Because, well, he still has the magic side of things, so there's that. But he leans more towards the fire element in this form. So, and he changes from purple to red, so there's that. So, doing that makes sense in my brain. But that's just how I think. Excuse me. Next is Armored Hibiki. Now, the battle class is going to change, but the element swap is going to be the same because it just feels right. But I'm going to give this the legendary boost. Similar to like Ryuki Survive, it is an upgrade to the Kurenai form, but doesn't do enough to where it's like cosmic level, that. But it changes enough to where I feel legendary boost is going to make sense. So, without further ado, Armored Hibiki is going to be legendary fire magic swap Knight. Knight because he uses the armored saber to transform. Makes sense in my brain. So, there's that. Next up is Ibuki. Now, okay, I'm going to say this now before I forget. Ibuki, Todoroki, and Zanki are going to be the same element, but let me explain my reasoning when we get to Todoroki and Zanki. For Ibuki himself, we're doing air quick shot. Now, okay, you can make an argument that he could be a bazooka. The video I watched, which if you just look up Kamen Rider Hibiki Henshins, you'll find the video there. It shows all the transformations and finishers and all that. The weapon is a trumpet. Now, in start, it is like a gun in some cases. When it does the finisher, you can probably make the argument it is a bazooka. But I'm sticking with quick shot just because it is used like a blaster type weapon. So, that's my logic on that. The air element, for the element in Ibuki, is more wind-based. So that's my reasoning for air. Now, on to Todoroki and Zanki. These two are pretty much the same, so I'm just going to group them together. Simple as that. The weapon is a guitar, which is a shorter spear axe weapon. Okay, Cellsor Arts, if you are watching this video, please let me know what you think of Kamen Rider Todoroki and Zanki's weapon. How would you classify that? Please let me know if you're able to do a video about this. Of all the Hibiki Rider weapons. Please do so. I'll be very interested in checking that out. It would help me so much. Thank you, Celso Arts. They are awesome. Please check them out when you got a chance. Please, thank you. Moving on. Okay. Guitar, spear. It's kind of like an axe too, so my logic is Smasher. Just because it makes sense for the battle class for those two. The element is also gonna be air, but before we get into any questions, let me explain. So, similar to water, ice is a sub-element in the water element. Lightning is a sub-element in both tech and air, respectively. So, why air? Well, Hibiki Riders aren't that tech-based. So there's that logic. And it just kind of makes more sense that it be more in the air element. So, like ice in this instance, the lightning element for the lightning aesthetic for Todoroki and Zanki is going to be classified in the air element. You guys let me know on that front. Again, Celso Arts, if you're watching this, if you're able to classify each of these weapons that I mentioned in this video, please do so. I'd be very grateful on that. Up next is Shuki. Shuki. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. She does use a similar transformation style as Todoroki and Zanki, where it's like that guitar watch thing. The only real say is I don't think it fits the air element in this sense. Her weapon's a harp, and she does use it as like a bow and arrow type weapon, but the arrow is more light based. So for Shuki, I'm going to give this one the light bow slinger typing in this. So there's that. Up next is Touki. Touki. Apologize for pronunciations. I'm going with Choki because that's how it's pronounced in the video I watched. What I got down is Snow and Gone. So Gone type of weapon, where it's like a club. Smasher. There's that. Snow, like I said for Todoroki and Zanki with sub-elements, Snow is classified in the water element in Skylanders. So, in total, Toki is going to be a water smasher. There's that. Nishiki. Okay, this one is going to be interesting because what I saw in the transformation doesn't really give like a full-on transformation. Also, the weapon does not make any sense whatsoever. It's a triangle. How do you classify a triangle in this instance? To be honest with you, I have no clue about battle class. So, I'm going to say the closest thing I can get to is probably a ninja. To be honest with y'all, but I don't know. It's a big ass triangle. Like, it's probably about the same size as Tego Sword right here. So there's that. I will say the element, the transformation kind of gives off like vines. So with that logic, I'm deciding to go with the life ninja. I guess. Big question mark on this one. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I'd be open. Because, again, I have no idea on this one. I have no idea. Next one is Kirmiki. Kirmiki. Now, what I've put down is sand and symbols. Okay, symbols. For Kirmiki's design for the symbols, they look like charcrums. If you don't know what charcrum is, it's kind of like basically a giant disc that's a blade. The whole circle is a blade, so there's that. This one I'm going to say is going to get the earth because of sand. And for the symbols, ninja. So, altogether, earth ninja. You don't find that often. There's that. Next one is Habagaki. Habagaki? Habagaki. Why do these names exist? What I got put down is feathers and flute. So, okay. I'm gonna say it's a big flute too. It's like a trident too. So, for the battle class, I'm gonna say Sentinel. Just because it's kind of like this here. The I can't believe I forgot the name of it. But it's the weapon that Don Dorgoku uses. And also Transformation 9. So, it's about that same size. So, I'm going to say Sentinel for that. And then feathers. I could go multiple ways for this. I could go air or light. I'm going to say air just because it fits with the flute. It's more wind-based, so there's that. Next is... Oh, that's actually our last one. I know there's like two others. Akira and Kozuki, I guess. The video I watched doesn't really give them much for weapon-wise that I can tell, so I don't know. But there's a shout-out to them. I'm not sure about those two. But the last one that we will officially do is Kabuki. Kabuki, what I got down is flowers and sword. Sword, knight, obviously. Flowers, leaning towards life on this one. So, there's that. So, in total, Kabuki, life, knight. And that is it. That is it for all the Hibiki riders. Now, I know I'm not confident in some of them. But if you guys are able to comment down what you guys think would be a good element or battle class from Skylanders to put these guys in, please, I encourage you to put your thoughts down in the comments down below. And without further ado, next time it'll be Kamen Rider Kabuto, which is going to be very tech-based, just a heads up. So, with that being said, I'll see you next time. Take care.